Hello and welcome to Last Week in AWS. I'm Corey Quinn. Let's see what they have for us this time. AWS Marketplace announces AI-assisted product listing. An AI now writes your marketplace listing by scraping your own website, which raises the questions of why you needed humans for it before. The quality score judges how well your robot-generated copy pleases AWS's discovery algorithm. Machines marketing to buyers who will send other machines to read it. What a slopportunity! CloudWatch introduces log analytics for unified log analysis. Log insights, livetail, and contributor insights should have been one thing, and this is finally getting there. Someday they'll discover the miracle of unifying the pricing as well, then we'll be cooking with gas. EKS now supports customer-routed control plane egress. Compliance teams have spent years begging EKS to route control plane traffic through their own VPC, and now they can at no additional cost. The catch arrives later when that traffic crosses a NAT gateway and you discover what no additional cost actually means for your bill and the NAT gateway product owner's growing yacht fleet. Free network bandwidth, Amazon GameLift servers is here! I did not editorialize that enthusiasm, exclamation point in any way. It's in the original. Free egress bandwidth, the thing that AWS guards like the last lifeboat on the Titanic, has been handed over for game servers without enrollment or commitment. Either someone in pricing got fired, or competitors offering bare metal multiplayer hosting got AWS's attention. My money's on the latter. Enjoy it before someone else notices. AWS announces AWS Blocks, an open-source framework for composing application backends on AWS. Removing the need to learn infrastructure tools, says the company, whose business model is selling infrastructure tools and has actively resisted building precisely this flavor of tool for 2 decades. The pitch is solid until you hit the part where it deploys to production AWS services, and then, surprise, your build discovers a new hobby. Free framework leading to an expensive habit. Drop into CDK when the abstraction inevitably betrays you. Compute Optimizer enhances EBS volume recommendations with additional performance metrics. A tool that recommends right-sizing EBS now notices when your volume is choking on IOPS spikes. I can't wait for the AWS Solutions team to write a blog post about how to do this with 14 steps, 7 services, 6 Python scripts, and a state machine. Introducing AWS Continuum for security at machine speed. Continuum has a lot of vowels for a frugal company, but cool. Nevertheless, the temptation for Anthropic to be petty and call the White House about this must be overwhelming. Management Console Private Access now works without internet connectivity. Private access that required internet connectivity was always my favorite oxymoron, right up there with Jumbo Shrimp and Microsoft Works. Now it actually works air-gapped, which the defense folks have wanted since roughly the Reagan administration. You pay only for private link endpoints and data processing, so private still has a per gigabyte price tag attached. The security agent announces support for threat modeling. An AI now tells you all the ways your architecture might get owned, which is handy since the same vendor designed half of it. Free during preview, naturally, so enjoy the anxiety while it lasts. Threat number 7, the pricing page. Grok 4.3 from xAI now available in Amazon Bedrock. This is terrific news as long as your company's business challenges are best solved via revenge porn. For the rest of us, it's pretty clear this is AWS cozying up to SpaceX for future corp dev purposes. Aurora and RDS for MySQL expand extended support for MySQL 5.7 through June of 2029. MySQL 5.7 hit end of life back in 2023, and yet here we are paying year 3 ransom pricing for critical bug fixes through 2029. No price hike this time, which means they're confident you'll never actually upgrade. They're right, you won't. See you in 2029 for the next extension. Marketplace reduces listing fee for pro services to 0.5%, down from 2.5%. Now, note the fine print, existing offers stay at the old rate. So partners get the discount only on new deals because nostalgia apparently costs 5 times more. S3 Vectors, more results, cheaper queries, fresh fees. Okay, S3 Vectors also now supports larger queries against larger indexes with pricing adjustments to match. You're probably thinking that I'm about to say the thing I was in fact originally going to say, but the S3 Vectors team reached out to me proactively right before I recorded this episode. So they wanted to make sure that they could talk me through it. This is not a price hike for existing usage patterns. It's a capability expansion. Plus, S3 Vectors is computationally intensive. Combine those two, and there was a missing pricing dimension. I appreciate their dedication to not surprising customers with fees, caring about the perception of the cost of those services, and ability to predict exactly what I was going to make fun of before I did it. Gold star for them across the board. Nice work. Amazon S3 annotations attach rich queryable context directly to your objects. S3 gets an object store in the object store, and now you can bolt a full gigabyte of context onto each object because the 4 existing metadata mechanisms weren't confusing enough. Every announcement these days whispers agentic workflows, which is Seattle for your AI will generate the data, then pay Athena to read it back. Vertical integration is great, but now it's on your own bill. Announcing EC2 G7 instances accelerated by NVIDIA RTX Pro 4500 Blackwell Server Edition GPUs. A new instance type with 7 sizes, 4 operating systems, and exactly 2 regions to run it in. Ohio and Oregon get the Blackwell GPUs. Is that big O notation? Everyone else gets a CloudFormation tab and the promise of future regional expansion. DevOps Agent adds release management capabilities to assess code changes before production in preview. So we have reached the part of the AI boom where AWS sells you a robot to review the code your other robots wrote because the humans drowned in pull requests around March. An agent babysitting agents. Build the machines, I guess. The pricing's in preview, which of course means we'll surprise you later. AWS WAF adds AI traffic monetization capability to help content owners charge AI bots for content access. A toll booth for robots settled in stable coins to your crypto wallet because nothing screams trusted publisher revenue stream like Coinbase, facilitating your microtransactions. Configuring it only requires bot control, a protection pack, and surrendering to the phrase Machine Payments Protocol. Welcome to 2026. Simulating EC2 burst credits before downsizing an instance. No. This showed up on the AWS Compute blog, and no. How the hell did this get all the way through the AWS publication process without someone with half a clue mentioning that the free AWS Compute Optimizer has a burst credit simulation engine embedded in it? Sure. Go ahead and connect this monstrosity together out of Lego parts and bricks over the course of an afternoon, or you could just click the goddamn button that AWS already provides to you for free. And finally, the AWS Security Bulletin Quartet AI Tools Forget Unix 101. This week's security mailbag reads like a tour of every place AWS bolted shiny new toys onto decades-old foot guns, starting with a double free in the common runtime, whose official workaround is to downgrade yourself to HTTP 1.1 like it's 2009 and feel safer for it. From there, we graduate to the agentic future, where Bedrock agent cores install packages block list that forgot --index -URL, proves once again that enumerating bad strings is a hobby instead of a defense, and your helpful AI will cheerfully pip install whatever a stranger's PyPy mirror is serving. Speaking of helpful AI, Kiro IDE parked your auth tokens at 0644 so the entire box could read them, which means the robots writing your code skipped the one Unix permissions lecture that mattered. And then, for the finale, 5 containerd CVEs in a single bulletin, threatening cross-pod execution across EKS, ECS, Fargate, and Friends. The managed fleet crowd gets patched in their sleep, while self-managed containerd holdouts get to spend the evening earning it. The through line here is that AWS keeps inventing dazzling new abstractions and then rediscovering that memory, input, and file permissions were never optional. And that's what happened last week in AWS. I'm Corey Quinn. Thank you so much for listening to my ridiculous nonsense.